Hey man, today we'll be reacting to another video by Mandalore Gaming, and this one is Shogo Mobile Armor Division Review. And I was scrolling through his videos because the only video I reacted and seen was the previous one, which was the really bad game. So I noticed he's done a lot of old school reviews, and this was one I actually owned, and I still own to this day. If I remember while editing, I'll post a picture of my copy on the screen somewhere, but yeah, I remember this mainly because you basically were able to control a mech, and then you were able to exit the mech, and then there was levels where you played as a human. So, and then the mech itself could transform into some sort of transportation vehicle, although I don't think I've ever used that because I don't think it was really needed. But yeah, I don't think the graphics aged well, but I also don't remember what the story was. All I remember was mechs, and you can exit out of that, and I think at one point it got really difficult, but I mean I was a kid, so I was just probably just playing incorrectly. Yeah, let's just see what the review is all about and see if I can actually remember some more stuff. Oh yeah, this was made by Monolith, if I remember right, and before they went all in on like the horror series and just did Fear. Yeah, Monolith. This sounds so familiar. Oh yeah, like I also got this. I got this along with, I think it was Rage of Mages at like a liquidation store. Then I went to the store like every so often. Usually would get this, oh, what was it called? It was like a Magidisc or something like that. It was like a game disc full of demos and old DOS games. I really wanted to get. They also had a physical copy of Jazz Jackrabbit 2 at one point, but I don't know why I did not get that for some reason. I think maybe it was like too expensive or something like that at the time. But yeah, they're like that place had a lot of neat stuff for cheap, but for some reason that one was expensive. But yeah, I got this and Rage of Mages there. So, anyways.
Well,
oh, yeah,
now I understand why everyone was requesting this. I had first heard of Shogo a few years ago, but I didn't really look into it. I knew it was made by Monolith, which made the Fear game, which we've already covered on this channel. They've made a lot of games I like. So when this intro
they made
the Fear game, which we've already covered on this channel, they've made a lot of...
So they made Condemned and Alien vs. Predator 2? I did not know that.
of games I like. So when this intro first started playing, I was... confused? Like, see here, the hallway's all lit and there's the Gibbs, and well, you can tell this is a little different than the other games I've played. Let's just get into it.
Hopefully the song isn't copyrighted, because I mean it isn't. I don't think it's like a licensed song other than that's in the game. But
this intro is like 2 minutes long, by the way. Compared to the opening, the menu is a complete 180. I like the theme music, but my game didn't look like this at first. It looked like this. Shogo is a good example of one of my golden rules. Just because you could buy it on GOG doesn't mean
you can. Okay.
It's going to work. So this is the retail version. This is after I tinkered with it. So out of the box, it doesn't play well on modern systems.
Yeah, I think I mentioned this in a different reaction, if I remember correctly. But this came out in the era of like Windows 95, 98 games, where if you try to install those games from that era nowadays, chances are it's not going to run correctly unless if you're actually buying through GOG or something like that. And even then, like you said, it might not run well. So yeah, there's just a lot of games during that era that I think are lost, just because like you can't really run them without reverse engineering them or something like that.
This is the retail version, and this is after I tinkered with it. So out of the box, it doesn't play well on modern systems, but it can, and there's a lot of people who don't know this. I thought it would be a good idea to list off how I made this happen. Otherwise, you're stuck playing in a windowed mode at about 11 FPS. Shogo doesn't support full screen, but it does support this size, which I'm going to call Planetarium.
What? What is that?
Shogo doesn't support full screen.
So service, I mean, what
but it does support this size.
What? So this is, so yeah, 1,835,627,627,088 by 544,830,49. What a resolution.
Which I'm going to call Planetarium. The first thing you need to do is download the widescreen patch, which some guy in a forum made. It's pretty easy to enable in the launcher, but we're not done yet. Because the resolution is right, but now the menu is laggy. And the game will be too. DG Voodoo Wrapper is the savior here. It's a wrapper for older graphics APIs, and you can get it for free. The one
Remember when Voodoo graphics was a thing? Like the graphics cards? I think like, this was before the whole duopoly with NVIDIA and ATI, I think. Because like ATI was still going around back then. I think they still had like the Radeon. It was like the ATI Radeon series. There was like Voodoo graphics. And I believe there was one. I don't know if NVIDIA was going around. I believe they were. But I don't know if Voodoo was affiliated with one of them or if they were their own brand.
Drawback is almost every browser will scream at you that it's a virus, but you can just ignore that. Trust me. So once you've copied the right files in and got it all configured, you then choose the new display in the menu. So now it runs great, but the controls need work. It's like System Shock, where A&D turns you instead of strafing. But then I realized that clicking wouldn't shoot. It's a keyboard input and it won't let you rebind to a mouse button.
Oh yeah. Okay, sorry, I'm pausing a lot, but I'm just like remembering stuff. But the first person shooters back in the day, I think for me, it was before Quake 3 Arena. That was when I really started playing the WASD with the mouse and keyboard. I think every FPS games I played before that, it was purely keyboard. Like I would use the arrow keys to move. So I think it was like space to jump, control to crouch, or yeah, and then something else. No, control. I think control was shoot or something like that. But yeah, it was just pure keyboard build, and that like once I tried mouse and keyboard with the WASD, my whole world shifted in terms of playing games.
Unless you load some lines into the game's auto-execute file. Now this wasn't picked up by recording, but sometimes the mouse would start flashing in the center of the screen. Another common problem. But instead of downloading some program to fix that, I just made a blank mouse cursor and used that. There's also an issue where the endgame soundtrack won't play. Running that in Windows 95 compatibility mode fixed it for me, but your results will vary. So yeah, now the game's running. I might end up buying this on Steam just so I could post a community guide there that has all the fixes
it's
in
on
one
Steam
place.
As well?
If you couldn't tell, it was a little bit of a scavenger hunt to get this going. So now I could find out if all the trouble was worth it. Since I did just spend the past minute making it work, I might as well start with the graphics. This game is from 1998, and it's pretty apparent immediately, but there's something a little different about the characters' faces, but I'll come back to that in a moment. Certain weapons have nasty texture seams. There's some stuff that looks downright bad, even for the time. I was convinced this was a bug and this guy had a normal weapon that was accidentally scaled up about 3 times, but nope, this is actually working as intended. Shogo is the first game in the Lithtech engine. It would be developed for Monolith's later games like No One Lives Forever, Fear, and even Shadow of Mordor. Compared to its competition at the time like Quake 2 and Unreal, it's a pretty good looking game. I can't say it looks better everywhere because there's some issues around. Some of the outdoor environments are pretty bland, but then you compare that to the game's interior environments. The areas they added details to look great. Monolith was just starting to experiment with how much they loved high-tech facilities, parking garages, and offices.
Yeah, like I remember when you were able to like dual wield the pistols.
Monolith was just,
and this was like I think like the beginning area where these are actually your allies, but you can't actually fire on them, and I think you can't really survive it. I think, if I remember right, they will overpower you.
Starting to experiment with how much they loved high-tech facilities, parking garages, and offices. This was pretty cool stuff. And where have I seen this before? Oh. The thing that noticeably set Shogo apart from its peers were some of the effects. The gore looks really good because the blood is actually made of 3D objects.
Oh.
The result is that shooting people would cause blood to really drip down and go everywhere. They did make blood the year before, so it makes sense they'd keep going with this. The special effects are all over the top, and it's great.
Yep. Very flashy.
Moving on to the art style, it's what sets this game apart from the other
You can squish the humans when you're in the mech.
of its time. Basically, it looks similar to other shooters until somebody actually starts shooting. The effects are going for a very specific style. In case the intro artwork and the title didn't give it away, this is a mech game. That doesn't sound too crazy, but back then most mech games looked like this. So instead of making a mech sim, they made a mech-flavored FPS game. But they needed a way to make it stand out from other mech games, so they turned to the devil's paintings. If the intro wasn't a dead giveaway, this is an anime game. I was hoping to never have to use the phrase, this is an anime game, but here we are. I have some explaining to do. I don't hate anime. I hate this.
No, K-On!
I don't get it.
K-On is great. I mean, I haven't seen it in a while now, but I don't think this was the first one. But I think this popularized the cute girls doing cute things genre. Yeah.
I don't understand people enjoying this. Like,
I didn't mind
Jesus Christ. Thankfully, this game isn't that. This is more...
I saw the bonus features, like the bonus... What was it? The video clips for that show, and I thought something was wrong with the video, because... the quality is so different.
The mecha category. It's more along the lines of Patlabor and Robotech, not really Gundam. My knowledge on the genre is pretty limited. I have seen Patlabor, and I have played 2 Robotech games, but that's it. I feel like this is an important thing to bring up.
Wait, not even Armored Core?
Everything about the game is anime inspired, and it's terrifying. I do get what they're going for, but the models seem off. I mentioned that it's not until people start shooting that you can see how stylish it is. This is where Shogo's art direction becomes a problem. Those barren areas I talked about really stick out when there's just an anime poster on the wall. The same goes for the environments. The more grounded approach to the levels makes things feel a bit out of place. It's not constant, but when it happens it really sticks out. It's really hard to put into words, but I'll try. They were using top-of-the-line graphics techniques to make the game look realistic, but they show you what the character is supposed to look like. Naturally, they're styled like anime characters. The models are also like this, but look at the background. Everything but the characters is trying to look as realistic as possible for the time. My brain just sees this and tells me it's clashing. It doesn't happen in the more fantastical areas, just the more mundane ones. The stylized effects are great, but less than 2 years later a game came out that showed how it could be done. It's about time I got to bring this up. When the game Jet Set Radio came out not too long after, it used the cell shading technique. So instead of just having some styled effects, everything had a style to it.
Imagine if Shogo was cell shaded. That would, I feel like that would make it a lot better. I don't know if there's a mod for it, but yeah.
I know it's unfair to wish that a game had a style that was still in development, but what can I say? My eyes have been ruined by this. Robotech Battlecry ended up doing that. Look,
but I mean, I feel like in general, just technological improvements will just do that in general, right? Because like everyone, like when it came out, like GoldenEye on N64, it was amazing, right? Like I wouldn't say everyone, but almost everyone loved it, right? Like fast forward a few years later, the graphics were, looking back, it's just awful, and people are like, we played that.
Looks fantastic. So I keep thinking about this weird alternate reality where Shogo was the first cel-shaded game and took off, or at least was a cult hit. So as far as an art style goes, there's good stuff here, but a lot you've seen before. It's the story and the gameplay where things get really interesting. Honestly, this game cracks me up.
Sorry, Commander, this area is off limits.
Yeah, whatever.
I have my orders, sir. Please be nice to me.
This better work.
Romantic.
Well, I don't know about that.
What's that supposed to mean?
You have a pass? No pass, no ticket.
Yeah, right.
I don't remember any of the vocal lines. I don't remember it being like this.
Right here.
I'm sorry, sir, but that pass isn't validated. You need to get it validated.
Where?
Any of the shops in Crescent Square can do it for you. Check it.
Imagine like the ticket, the person behind the booth is just holding a shotgun just because.
The register.
It's incredible. It's one of those rare times the story and gameplay are so tied together I kind of have to do them at the same time. Let me start from the beginning. The game's protagonist is Sanjuro Makabe. macabre, Shinji, mackerel. The game starts with some background from Sanjiro's point of view. He's a member of the United Corporate Authority. They've been fighting over a planet called Cronus over a liquid called Kato, which helps power spaceflight. They've been fighting the rebels in the Cronus government and a terrorist group called the Fallen. So far, the radicals have wiped out his brother, his girlfriend, and his best friend. But then the game mentions that you're now dating your dead girlfriend's sister.
Right.
Yeah, complicated is a good way to put it. There's a reason why I brought up my limited anime knowledge earlier. Right from the get-go, they have little Easter eggs around. M. Kusanagi. I know that one. A. Shinohara's next door. And hungover. I get the
I don't think I would have recognized that when I originally played it.
feeling this game is a little bit of an anime treasure hunt that I don't know I'm missing out on. I'm really confident that they took the sound effects right out of shows. Getting back on track, the only backstory you get is from that intro sequence and from this computer. I learned that the big bad guy was named Gabriel, but I didn't learn anything else because this guy kept talking over it.
Sure, this is Admiral Akaraja. Stop fooling around and report for duty.
You told me to come here.
We will tolerate no
Commander, report immediately to Dock. My patience is wearing.
You learn from the commander, who is also the father of your ex-girlfriend and current girlfriend because this is anime, that you need to go down to the planet to kill Gabriel.
You have something you wish to share with me, Commander?
Yes, sir. You are my personal hero, sir.
By the way, Commander, I'm pleased to know that you checked into regional diagnostics. It's about time you showed a little initiative.
Stay out of the ladies' bathroom, Denton. Actually, this game came out before that one, so that's cool. For your first mission, you get to choose between one of 4 mechs. They all look awesome, and each one comes with a
I
detailed
think I chose
briefing.
that one.
Andre's ultimate MCA, the Under 25 Predator, is perfectly suited to combat missions.
I'd highly recommend picking up one of the tankier mechs for your first run. Shogo has a very unusual combat system.
Oh,
Enemies
is it?
sometimes drop health and armor, you can find goodies in crates, hold lots of weapons, all that good stuff. But when you shoot an enemy, every so often you'll get a critical hit. I'm pretty sure it's completely random. Besides doing a lot of damage, it also restores some of your health.
Oh, okay.
This system allows you to last
That's
longer
weird.
in some fights where you'd usually end up dead. But here's the catch. The enemies can also crit you. This is survivable in a heavy mech, but you spend at least half the game on foot. So if you're being shot, you'll see your health decrease and then bam, you're dead.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how much stuff you have
Maybe that's why I thought it was too difficult, because maybe they were just getting the lucky crits.
on. But then you have to combine this with the game's AI. I don't know what else to call it other than an absent-minded savant. Because you can do this.
Okay.
But if you go around a corner too quickly, there's no mercy.
Oh.
But here's the worst part. These savants are blessed with precognition. I have proof, too. Purple Flash, he crit me. The elevator wasn't quite up there when he shot me, but that's a little bit muddled. But I managed to get this. This is my Sasquatch recording. This proves everything is right, and I'm not crazy. Did you see that? Those are some quick reflexes.
Jeez.
My theory is that they can fire from any angle on their hitbox, but I can't be sure. So imagine that, plus the crits.
I'll fire the cannon
Yeah, maybe that's why I thought it was. Because I do remember at some points it did feel really difficult.
myself just as soon as I put you down.
Ooh. I got stepped on? Oh no, never mind. Got shot.
Damn. I beat the game in hard, but I also tried an easy file to see how it was, and it was the same with the crits. But there's another weird aspect to the combat. The cars in this game are basically nuclear weapons. I dare you to step on one.
Well,
Splash damage seems to hurt you more than a dead-on hit. I can't recall other games that do this. So even though you're in a mecha setting, with fast movement and a lot of weapons, you have to play the game very carefully. You get zapped around corners so easily. You have to check around every entryway. The game revels in its ability to drop in on you. If you don't make your own saves, it puts you back at the beginning of the level and you have to watch an unskippable cutscene again. You start playing it like a tactical shooter. For example, you get the drop in a robot, but you don't want to be too close when he dies or else the splash damage will get you. Just little things like that all the time. It can start to drive you crazy. The game also has tiny amounts of hidden power-ups you can use. You really need to make them last too, because your health carries on in between levels. Despite all of this, I kept playing. The weapons still feel great and the combat looks amazing too. I also got deep satisfaction from having a gunfight that I won, taking out multiple enemies without getting blasted immediately. So there was enough here to keep me going, but for others I could see them dropping this pretty quickly. I don't blame them. You can get in some terrible situations.
oh no. Oh,
I almost forgot. These things transform too.
Oh yeah, I said that earlier.
I was pretty excited. The difficulty means using it effectively is very...
Like the animation for it is pretty neat, but like I don't think you can actually do anything besides maneuver. Like you can see like the crosshair here, but I don't remember if he can shoot or not in that mode.
I was pretty excited.
Like the animation's
The
neat,
difficulty
though.
means using it effectively is very hard. Once you do pull it off, you feel like a god. This mode doesn't have weapons, but it makes a pretty killer lawnmower. Things like this kept me.
Oh, okay. So yeah, he says it doesn't have weapons. Okay.
This mode doesn't have weapons, but it makes a pretty killer lawnmower. Things like this kept me going, along with the story, along with the unusual world building. Classical Amish death metal? Megatron Bank? I'm getting eye flashbacks. Some of you Shogo fans might be worried I wouldn't talk about the cat quest. I have to talk about the cat quest. This isn't a side mission either, this is part of the main story. The rundown is you're blocked off by an electric fence, need the owner to turn it off.
Tell you what, I'll turn off the electricity if you'll find my kitty. She ran off.
It sounds familiar.
She likes to hide in the building by
Vaguely.
the pumping station. She'll only come to you if you have her toy, so you'll have to find it first.
Obviously.
It's probably somewhere in the building.
So Spider-Woman
Because she can't get it for you, right?
Jennifer Aniston won't turn it off unless we get her cat. The entire level is dedicated to finding this cat.
Where are you now?
Don't ask.
So I carve a path of destruction and eventually find the toy. It's
Oh,
Captain Claw
I do remember this. I do remember this toy though.
off in their side-scroller game. But then I hear this tidbit out of nowhere.
I don't know because
Captain Claw from their side-scroller.
they made this too. I've played this. It was pretty fun. I never beat it, but I don't know if I just played the demo. I don't think I have it, unless if it was like bundled in one of those 1,000 games in one, or one of the demo discs. I don't know. Like I do remember playing this. It was like the animations and the art was really cool, I thought, but yeah, I just never beat it.
Game. But then I hear this tidbit
for
out
one
of
reason or
nowhere.
another.
Sick bastards.
For whatever reason, the enemy wants to eat the cat. Was Monolith trying to imply something about the enemies? So you lure the cat out, which leads to this exchange.
Here, kitty, kitty. Kitty, kitty, kitty. Come here, you stupid cat.
Should I even ask?
Just ran into some stragglers that were trying to eat a cat.
Can you say that again slowly?
Okay.
Pervert.
I'm having trouble picturing it. Maybe you could demonstrate.
Oh.
Maybe. You must have amnesia.
Yeah, I definitely would have missed that joke when I was playing as a kid. That would have just flown right over my head.
Yeah.
I like how even in the recording you can see me stop because I can't really comprehend what I'm hearing. They use people literally trying to eat a cat to make that joke. That's incredible.
You shouldn't run away from Mommy.
Oh, jeez.
Mommy worries about her widow Puka.
You can see why the cat ran away.
Give me a sec. I'll turn off the electricity.
Gives you health.
Thanks a lot, lady. You want me to take the garbage out for you? You crazy.
So she gives you a power-up and opens the gate for you. Now get this. That whole thing is optional.
Oh yeah. So remember understand, like at the beginning, you can actually attack everyone at the beginning area that's your allies, but you can't really progress. So, okay.
You can just kill her and the other guy in the house, run in the back, and then turn off the gate yourself. That
That's
entire new level
neat.
is completely optional. Later,
Very
you can
neat.
decide whether or not to betray your army. This will decide the levels in the last quarter of the game and which enemies you fight. You could complete your original mission, which has Gabriel trying to whack you with a pool noodle, or you could take a completely different path. I won't get into the main story because I wasn't that invested in it. The story is like being a kid and flipping through TV channels, then you see,
Okay.
I don't know, Gundam or something on TV and the robots are fighting. Yeah, they're yelling about backstory and stuff, but you just want to see the robots fight. They only show the background in text, but they act like you should really be invested in it. Complete with the other dialogue option in the game about, well, your love life, but I won't get into that. It doesn't affect anything. I didn't care about the main story as much as I cared about seeing some of the weird background details. Shogo has main events that would be a joke or an Easter egg in other games, but in this one it's the star of the show. Like, you have a pretend rival the whole game that you could just kill immediately in almost every fight,
I think we need to get over this obsession. It's not healthy.
and then you have an actually hard boss battle that you need to cheese because they zap you instantly. Then you run into
Wow.
more weird shit.
Wait, really? Why does that sound so? Like,
What is this
like,
game?
I know where the music's from, right? But did I find this when I was playing?
This isn't an out-of-the-way Easter egg or anything. If you want to fight Mecha Hitler, you have to pass through the Bee Gees pool party. Honestly,
What a sentence.
Easter egg or
What a
anything. If you want to fight
I don't think you can do that nowadays.
Mecha Hitler,
In
you have
gaming.
to pass through the BG's pool party. Honestly, that sums up the game. I have nothing else to say. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. It was a pain to set up, but I still
It
feel
was a
like I got my
game.
$6 worth. For everything bad this game has, it has something good, and vice versa. I'd be interested in seeing a remake or a sequel to it. This game didn't sell well either, because guess what came out 3 months
Wait, oh yeah, this came out before Half-Life, and this Half-Life just dominated the genre.
interested in seeing a remake or a sequel
I like how it says be on the lookout for the Shogo saga to continue, and then he says like right after just Half-Life just came out.
to it. This game didn't sell well either, because guess what came out 3 months after it did? They had to cancel 2 expansion packs, and I think it's safe to say the series is on hiatus.
Maybe that's why I found it in the liquidation store.
There's no checklist I could go down to recommend this. Shogo is Shogo. There's nothing like it. This is the first time I made a video on something I hadn't played before, so thanks for the recommends. Even with its mechanic problems and fair share of bugs, at the very least it doesn't try to steal hundreds of dollars out of your wallet. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.
That was fun. A blast from the past.
How about that red claw, Carla?
Nothing for you, Commander.
That bottle is amazingly large. Like I don't know if it's like because I do watch anime and stuff like that, but some of the I feel like I would, at least now, I feel like if I were to replay it, then I would understand it a bit more, because back then I just played I didn't really pay attention to the plot. I just played it. So, and I remember being frustrated at some parts, like I said before, just because of the difficulty. And yeah, it was a game, and I still have it. So I can't really install it now because I don't have a CD drive, but apparently it's on GOG and Steam. So yeah, I just hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, thank you for watching and have a nice day.